The mist is a little heavy, I will say that. I feel like I just dunked my face in a bucket of water.
One step forward, two steps backwards, yeah.
Hello you guys, what's up? And welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm in the process of doing some skin prep when I thought, let's go to Ulta, let's see what's new in makeup. I really want to replace some of my everyday makeup essentials with affordable alternatives, and I haven't been to Ulta in a while. I do know e.l.f. has some products out on the market. They have some new Halo Glow face wands like highlighters, blushes, and bronzers. So I really want to see if my Ulta has them. So I may snag those up, but of course, I want to find some other items. Realistically speaking, I am going to try to replicate my high-end makeup essentials with drugstore alternatives. So we'll see what we can find and what we can pick up today. By the way, I am just using my ABH Brow Freeze with my Kosas Brow Gel to laminate my brows. This is definitely something I have to do whether I do my makeup or I don't do my makeup, because I have very unruly brows to begin with. So they go every which way, they're super curly. So I have to go in with some kind of brow gel, or in this case, brow wax. I'm also gonna go in with a little bit of the Jisoo Honey Infused Lip Oil. This one's okay, I'm still testing it out, but so far so good.
You say you don't wanna get in trouble, that you're doing fine cause you got me. I don't wanna break your little bubble, but you gotta wake up to reality. Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure, you just gotta let them flow without you. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right.
Alright you guys, so I am finally out of the house, and it didn't take me that long to get out of the house today because one, my mom has Atlas. She wrote me super late last night and she asked if she could pick him up for the day, and things just kind of worked out because I did intend on filming today. So it's just always easy when my mom takes him and I'm able to like stockpile content while he's with her. Atlas isn't in daycare or anything like that. I've been going back and forth with the idea, but I just can't come to terms with the fact that I won't see him for a majority of the day. So it's something that we just don't do. Realistically, I would just need somebody to watch him maybe 2 days out of the week, because if I plan my days accordingly, I can film so much content within 2 days and spread it out over a week. So we're really trying to balance it out. Normally whenever I do film, Ulysses does watch him, but sometimes it's a little difficult for me because since I can hear him, mom mode kicks in and I just want to know what he's doing, why he's crying, or like why he's like being loud. So it's a work in progress.
You just gotta follow the light, you're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be. You are like me, and I'm like you. You are like me, and I'm like you. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right, don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light, you're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like.
Your girl is back home from Ulta. I also stopped in at Target, but I left my phone in the car. Didn't want to go back. It was a whole thing. But I did end up finding the Woe Glow by e.l.f. Apparently, this is supposed to be a spot-on dupe for the Glow Screen by Supergoop. So we're going to see what it's all about. Right now, I am using the Tula sunscreen, but I figured it would be really nice to have more of an affordable sunscreen in my collection. So I will be going in with this. It has SPF 30 and it also acts as a makeup primer. So I'm gonna take a generous amount and I'm just gonna put it all over the face. So I'm just gonna start working this into my skin. So far I will say it is very dewy, very luminous. It definitely feels moisturizing on my skin, but borderline greasy. I will definitely say that. It definitely gives me super goop vibes, if you will. It looks really pretty on the skin, but I will say if you apply a little bit too much, it does pill up. So you can see that it's pilling a little bit, but I'm hoping that doesn't interfere with my makeup application. We're gonna go ahead and move on. I'm gonna go in with this color corrector by e.l.f. I've had these in my collection for a little minute. These are the camo color correctors. I'm gonna use the light peach shade and I'm gonna take this directly underneath my eyes to color correct. I'm also gonna take it here on my upper lip because your girl got a mustache, and then here next to my smile lines. Then with a Sephora number 56 brush, I'm just gonna buff and blend it out. I will say for being a part of the camo line, this is very thin in consistency and it's not like full on coverage, which whenever I think of the camo line by e.l.f., I think of something that is just a little heavier on the skin, but I'm not getting those vibes at all. You know what? I am gonna go in with the orange color corrector underneath my eyes because I feel like I can still see my darkness peeking through a little bit. I'm a little nervous because I'm not sure if the products I'm gonna use on my face are gonna cover this up, but we'll see. Since we're doing the whole color corrector thing, and when I say we, I mean me and my friend here, I'm gonna go in with the green one too, just to cancel out the redness that this pimple is causing. And I'm gonna put a little bit on my cheeks. I haven't used a green color corrector in a while, so we'll see if this helps. I definitely feel like the green color corrector is working really well, like in my cheek area. You saw that I blended the orange down a little too low, so it definitely helped cancel out all of that orange color corrector. It really just like neutralized everything, which is nice. So far, I am really liking the e.l.f. color correctors. I feel like it's giving what it needs to give. For foundation, I will be using my e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. This one here is in the shade Light 240W. I like to take it on a kabuki brush and then I'll just kind of stipple it on the face and just work it into the skin. By the way, this video is not sponsored by e.l.f. I just genuinely really love their products. I wouldn't be opposed to sponsorship, by the way, but I really love their products. And as you can see, this CC cream all on its own, it covers everything up. It probably is one of my favorite base products within the drugstore. If you guys have any favorite drugstore base products, let me know down below, because I feel like when I was in Ulta, I was having a really hard time finding new base products to try out. So recommendations, please. So base makeup is done. Let's go ahead and move on to concealer. I've had this concealer in my collection for a little minute. This is by Maybelline. It is the Super Stay Active Wear Concealer, and I got mine in the shade 11. The reason I didn't go in and put foundation underneath my eyes is because I really want to see how well this covers everything up. It's very fluid. I was honestly expecting something like full on coverage, but it's a little thin in consistency. I also kind of hate the wand. I'm not gonna lie, it's like thin, flimsy. I feel like they couldn't have picked a cheaper wand for this, but it's drugstore, what do you expect? To blend it out, I'm just gonna use a little Amazon puff. I'm just gonna tap and see what it does, if it covers everything up. I may need to go in with a little bit more because this e.l.f. color corrector is just very pigmented, but I will say the puff is really doing a good job buffing and blending everything out. Overall, it looks really flawless. Oh, I am not mad at it. Okay, so I definitely feel like the concealer, it dries down very quickly. So maybe do one eye at a time, but it gives really, really good coverage. I don't think my under eyes have looked this flawless in a really long time. And it could be a result of using this little puff. Like, not only is it good for powder, but it's also good for liquids and creams. Okay, Amazon. So I need to go in and set my under eyes, but unfortunately I don't have a drugstore loose powder in my collection. After that big overhaul and beauty room clean out, I got rid of all of my powder. So the only one I really been using is this one here by Laura Mercier. So please forgive me. I'm just not gonna go out and buy a powder that I'm not 100% sure about just for the sake of filming an all drugstore video. Like, it's 2023, I am not doing that anymore. So far, I will say I am really liking the concealer. It looks really pretty underneath the eyes and just overall very, very flawless. I felt like it was gonna be a lot thicker and a lot more full coverage than it was, and I feel like that's what took me so long to use it in the first place, but So far, so good. I'm also gonna use this powder to just powder down my T-zone so that way I don't get too oily throughout the day. For cream contour, I'm gonna use this here by e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Vacay Mood. And one of the main reasons I like this one in particular is that it is a cooler tone bronzer, so I use it to contour. I feel like you can create really pretty, natural looking shadows with this. Like, look at the side of my face, it looks really good. I'm just gonna take this all over. Once I have that blended out, I'm gonna go in with one that is a little bit warmer here. And I feel like it just creates the prettiest gradient. So let's jump into blush. I'm gonna use this one right here by LA Girl. This is the Soft Matte Cream Blush. It has vitamin E and jojoba oil. It's supposed to be a blendable cheek and lip color and long-lasting pigment. I got the shade Cutie. I'm definitely throwing it back to my old blush shades. I feel like I've really been into the Barbie pink recently, but this is definitely me in a blush. Like, I love this color so much. Because it is more of a creamy formula, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take it and I'm gonna put it on this little mixing palette that I have here by Makeup by Mario. I'm gonna take my brush and just press into the product. Usually whenever I try out like a new formula like this, I'm really scared to put it straight onto my face because I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen. So I like to take it on a brush first and then I'll start working it into the skin. I'm actually gonna tap off here and then we're gonna go straight in with the product. Ooh, ooh, that's a really pretty color. I definitely feel like I miss the peach blushes for sure. So looking at the blush in the viewfinder, I can definitely see some kind of sheen, but on the packaging it does claim to be more of a soft matte, so I'm curious to see if it dries down to more of a matte finish. So let's go ahead and talk about eyeshadow. I mentioned in a previous video that it's just really hard for me to stop using the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes eyeshadow palette and that I haven't really found a good alternative from within the drugstore. So I was in Ulta recently and it really reminded me that I have a matte eyeshadow palette from Juvia's Place that I really like. It's called the Coffee Shop eyeshadow palette. It's not an all matte eyeshadow palette, but it's definitely matte enough to the point where I can create my everyday makeup look using this. First of all, I love Juvia's Place eyeshadows. I feel like they blend very nicely. So I'm gonna start off with this taupey brown here and I'm gonna work that in my crease to act as my transition color. I definitely feel like this taupey color is very similar to a color I would use from the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes eyeshadow palette. Like this one right here is very similar. I definitely feel like this one is a little bit more pewter, but it still works. It's gonna do the same thing. I'm also gonna take this shade and I'm gonna put it on my very lower lash line here just to connect the shadow together. And I'm just using like a Sephora brush that I have in my collection. More recently, I've really been obsessed with the Sephora collection brushes. If this video goes up while the Sephora sale is still going on, then definitely check out their brushes. I wanna say they're like 30% off during the sale, so you can never go wrong with Sephora collection brushes. I definitely want to deepen up the outer V just a little bit. The only issue I have with this palette is that there's not a middle shade between this shade and this shade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into this and this, kind of go back and forth between the two just so that way it's not too dark and too intense. And I'm going to use that same brush just to lightly deepen up this outer V color. So for my actual lid color, I'm gonna go in with this Super Shock eyeshadow by ColourPop. This one is in the shade Ladybird, and I instantly thought of like an eye topper. I'm really obsessed with the one from Makeup by Mario, the Master Crystal Reflector in the shade Bronzite. So I saw this and I started to get those vibes. It's not necessarily the same color, but I definitely feel like it's a similar concept. So I'm gonna run my finger in this and I'm gonna use it as my lid color. I just hope it's not too stark white. Ooh, it's definitely a little stark and white. I wish it was a little bit more bronze, but it definitely gives off the same vibes, if not a little bit better. Like if this was the right color, I would be all for this. But I definitely want something that's a little bit more, I guess, like a light gold, light bronze. One thing you guys gotta know about me is that after having my son, I definitely got really picky when it comes to the makeup products I'm putting on my face. Hate to say it, but that's the reality. I'm just gonna go in with the same eyeshadow that I used on my brows and I'm gonna create a little mini wing. Actually, I'm gonna go in with more of a mid-tone brown from the palette because this one is looking just a little dark. For lashes, I picked up a couple things, one of which is a mascara. This is the Highly Rated Lash Extensions Tubing Mascara by Milani. I love the original Highly Rated mascara, so I was very interested. I don't think I've ever tried a tubing mascara, but apparently they just hold a curl a lot better, and the mascara like wraps around each lash, making them look a lot longer than regular mascaras. I could be wrong, don't quote me. We're gonna start with this. I got the blackest black color. This is the lash curler I have in front of me. I'm just going to press and curl the lashes. Definitely a step I can't skip in my mascara routine. Let's jump right into the mascara. This is what the wand looks like. It definitely is more of a plastic wand. You guys know how I feel about these wands. I mean, they're okay. Definitely not my favorite, but that doesn't mean it's gonna be a bad mascara, because the Tower 28 mascara is probably one of my favorites. It has a wand that is a plastic wand, but it kind of curves, so we'll see. I'm gonna go in with a couple coats. This is looking really good so far. It's separating my lashes really well. I finished off the mascara, and I will definitely say I don't know how to feel about it. I'm just kind of, if you get me, like, they're really long. It's giving what it needs to give, length of course, but I love volume and length, and my lashes are looking really long and skinny, but not in the best way. So I'm gonna go in with something that's gonna give me a little bit more volume. So of course I'm talking about a lash. I'm gonna go in with my Jubilee lashes that I will be turning into accent lashes, just to give me that fit and flare look. All right, you guys, so we are actually coming up on the end of this makeup look. I do have a lip liner that I picked up from Ulta. This is one of the NYX Line Loud lip liners, and this one here is in the shade Ambition Statement. I actually have a couple of these in my collection already. I have the shade Total Baller, which really is a spot on dupe for the KKW lip liners. And then I also have Global Citizen, but I've recently been more into lip liners that are this color, like really pretty, kind of like terracotta. So I'm gonna use this to line my lips and fill them in just a little bit. This lip liner, I will say, is very different for me, but I'm not mad at it. I'm now gonna go in with the lip gloss. So far, I can definitely tell that it's very glossy and just like very yummy. Honestly, for a drugstore lip gloss, I'm really impressed because it doesn't feel sticky. It feels very moisturizing on the lips. I almost forgot, I did get a setting spray as well. This is by Catrice. This is the Ultra Last 2 Fixing Spray. It's a transfer proof, waterproof, no alcohol, perfume-free setting spray. So I'm gonna give it a good shake and then just spray it on all over. Whoo! The mist is a little heavy, I will say that. So that is pretty much it for today's video. I know this isn't my typical getup. I don't have my hair done or a cute outfit on, but I really just wanted to chill, relax, play in makeup, go to the store, and kind of hang out with you guys today. So let me know your thoughts on this video, of course. Don't forget to follow me over on TikTok and stay tuned for the video where I'm going to be testing these out. It may already be up. I'll link it down below if it is, of course. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and like this video so that way I know and I can film more videos just like this. I love you. I gotta run. I gotta go pick up Atlas right now. So I will talk to you guys all in my next video. Deuces.